Happy Wednesday. Happy holidays, everybody. David Donald, what are you doing up before 4 a.m. in beautiful Sydney, Australia? Why? Why aren't you sleeping? Are you working nights? Are you on the mid shift at some power plant in Australia? Is that what you're doing? Chaka Baka. Really appreciate the live events. Makes these slow holiday work days go by faster. While watching content I actually enjoy. That's very sweet of you, Chaka Baka. I like that. Can you all hear me all right? South Central Indiana checking in. Very nice. Hello, Indiana. Hello, Wales, UK. Owen, across the pond. Appreciate it. Couldn't sleep. Been YouTubing. David, I wish I could say that happens to me, but it doesn't. I never want to get up. I always go to bed too late, and I never want to get up in the morning. Yeah, you can hear. Awesome. Brian Ronska hears me fine. I unplugged my headphones, so I couldn't hear because it's going through the headphones or here. Sound is fine. Awesome. We got 86 people. Shout outs. Where are y'all from? Detroit. Brian Romska. Bon Terry. Bon Terror. Missouri. Is that right? Chuck Steak. Mansfield, Texas. Just down the road. Sounds good. Johnson City, Tennessee. Nashville, Tennessee. Two Tennessees right in a row. What are the odds? Wirehead, wonderful Wirehead, up north, Ontario, Canada. I shipped out some stuff to patrons today, and there's a thing that said there's some type of Canadian postal strike. Is that going on? Is that affecting you? Thank goodness I didn't have to send anything to Canada. Guten Abend, Rich from Omaha. Currently visiting Dresden. Very nice. Go Big Red. DeLand, Florida. Chicago. Santa. That's right. Need some more white in the beard. Listening from your favorite Gray Bar Electric Marketing Department. Gray Bar. Oh, that was my previous life when I used to work in industrial stuff. Belgium. Freddie. Very nice. Nice hat. Thank you, Michael. Nice hair. Holidays, everyone. Orlando. Very nice. Beautiful. Beautiful. Home of Klaus Larson. Okay. Middle of nowhere, PA. We got Northern Illinois. Chris Carlson. Seattle. Very nice. Spokane. Two Washingtons right in a row. Where's Tacoma at? Postal Works have been on strike for a few weeks, but they were ordered back to work starting today. Oh, okay. Greetings from Chicago, my man, Ramon Delgado. Merry Christmas to you, brother. Another Seattle. Look at that. We got the West Coast. Oregon, near Tillett. 3 West Coasters. My mailbox was empty of junk mail for 4 weeks. Very nice. What gauge wire to use with Sony? Doesn't really matter. 16, 14, 12. I usually go for 12. Andy, Athens, Greece. Another Orlandian. Also, Funfi Empire. Also have Dolly speakers and Radiant acoustics. Very nice. Hong Kong. We already said Orlando. Chris, Orlando. Bernie, Texas. Very nice. Beautiful hill country down there in Bernie. Brooklyn. Very nice. Got a New Yorker. Took your advice. I have the Weem Ultra. Ordered the SMSL PO100 Pro. Arrived yesterday. Also ordered the J2S. Really enjoy your commentating, and I do laugh occasionally with you. Not at you. It's okay to laugh at me. People do it all the time. Doesn't matter to me either way. All right. Whew. Los Angeles. We don't get a lot of Californians in here. Manhattan, Another New Yorker. Always look forward to your channel and listen to your reviews of electronics that we can afford. Thank you for that. Thank you, Roberto, for watching. From Manhattan, Kentucky, Belfast, Northern Ireland. Owen Roberts, out of the park. First up to bat, 499 pounds. No, 499 pounds. Just south of 5 pounds. Something to help pay for that cup of coffee. Merry Christmas. Thank you, Owen. I just brewed this right before we started. It's still warm. It's a little bit too much. Greetings from a cruise ship in the middle of the Atlantic. How do you have internet? It's got to be the slowest internet on the planet. That was probably like a $1,300 upgrade to get internet on a cruise ship. How's the food on there? I've been on one cruise. The food wasn't great. All right, we're going to do a few more shout outs and then we'll get into the questions. But Owen, you're a rock star. Owen Roberts. Pittsburgh, formerly Orlando. I lived in Winter Park. Is that right? Winter Park, I think. There used to be a Navy base there. New Hampshire. In Canada, but I'm visiting my home country, Mexico. Very nice. I was in Mexico in October or November. How did you know I was in Tacoma now? It's the Tacoma aroma. I smelled you. From the great Commonwealth of Virginia, Athens, Ohio. All right. Know you love coffee, but also know some nutrients and vitamins will not be absorbed by your body as much. So take more that you lost due to the coffee. Great idea. I have a bunch of AG1 laying around because they were a sponsor. I need to start drinking that again. I was drinking that every night. All right. Got any questions, comments? Got Kansas City. I was born in Kansas City, Missouri. Baldwin Park. I was born on base. Ah, yes. It's now Baldwin Park. I was born on base. And I lived there's base housing south of Orlando. That was like 30 minutes away. Can't afford 400 pounds. No, Owen, do not apologize. I appreciate it. Every time I get a super chat, it really helps out the channel. Hamilton, Ontario. All right. Would love to review 2024, but also curious about Emotiva new executive mini amp debuted at EmoFest. I haven't gotten my ears on them, but I can't wait either. I love that kind of small-ish form factor. So it's a little bit bigger than like the Class D stuff from like Fozzy and Aima and stuff like that, but not as big as the regular stuff. And if I have one, it might be plugged in. Oh, maybe it's right here. Yeah, it's plugged in. Anyway, I have a right back here, a TIAC, and it's kind of the same form factor. I love that form factor. I think it's really cool, really really cool. And I think it's Emotiva's. I want to call it their first. I don't think they've done Class D. At least I haven't seen any Class D stuff up to this point, so in the last 4 years, but it's their first kind of foray into Class D. I'm very excited about it. Happy holidays to you. Mine starts in 2 days, making some me time with my Sundara and Eversolo DMP A6 via a DAC Z8. Love my Wii Malter too, but then the Bear Dynamic. Nice. I am not taking any time off. I may take a day or two off till the end of the year. But every day, it's this. Working on the channel, making videos, doing live streams, writing scripts, all the stuff, boxing stuff back up. Actually, after I do this, I'm going to drop a bunch of stuff off at the post office and UPS. We actually just did our annual Christmas party. Holiday party, if you're not into Christmas. And it's really cool. So every year in December, we get together and we do a Zoom call. And it's like a white elephant kind of party, or some people call it Dirty Santa. Anyway, everybody has to bring a gift. and then everybody gets seated. So there's like 41 people. So it goes from, I sort them, and so it goes from 1 down to 41. And then the first person up there gets to choose somebody, not knowing what their gift is. And then somebody says, okay, well, I have, I don't know, a Wii Ultra I'm giving away. That's great. So the second person goes, and they can either choose somebody else or they can steal the Wii Ultra. It's always a bunch of fun. And then I also give out a bunch of door prizes. So stuff that's been here, maybe speakers that have been discontinued, stuff that was left with me from manufacturers. So get this. We have 4 pairs of speakers going out. And none of those speakers MSRP was under $500. So we have 4 pairs of speakers, some really nice speakers going out. Pair of Dan Clark headphones going out, a Denafreps Aries 12th going out, and these are all door prizes. So if at the end of the year next year you're bored, we're also going to do it in July too. We're going to call it Christmas in July. So twice a year we're going to do these like fun Dirty Santa White Elephant type parties. So if you're not involved in Patreon, maybe consider going to Patreon, because just about everybody, anybody that won a door prize just has some major ROI on their Patreon membership. Dread, $10. Merry Christmas from Hoosierland. Thank you so much. Indiana? Oh, yummy. I cannot wait to watch the college football playoffs this weekend. What's up, Randy? Keep it jamming from Oakland. Thank you. Matt Goikendall, $5. If you're not subscribed to Matt's channel, you really need to run over there. His channel name is not as catchy as mine. It's his name. So everybody copy and paste his name and then go over and subscribe. Merry Christmas. $5. Thank you, Matt. What types of reviews do you hope to see more of in 2025? I'm sure traveling up to North Dakota for a collab, right? What part of North Dakota are you in? Minot? Why not Minot? What types of reviews? You know what? Whatever. I like the new stuff. I'm going to get like next year. I hope to have like maybe 50% reviews, like 25% like entertainment stuff, which would be like, hey, I bought an entire system off of wish.com, entire audiophile system on wish.com, for, I don't know, $300. So stuff like that. I want to do a lot more of those videos because they're a lot of fun. I also want to do some videos where, I don't know, I like put together some systems from maybe Facebook Marketplace or something local where I give myself like 24 hours to put together a system from Facebook Marketplace with a budget. I think that would be fun. Would you guys watch that? Would you like to watch that? And then, same old. More reviews of, I'd love to see what Weem's going to come up with next year. And I would like to see some more affordable speakers come out. It's been a little bit sparse for affordable speakers. Jared Bangy, $10. Thank you so much. Any chance you know of someone who has made plans for an upgraded crossover for JBL Stage A130? I like to tinker with the previous generation of speakers after a new series comes out. I don't know. I'll just crack it open and take a look in there and then replace whatever values, because I'm pretty sure it's probably just a iron core inductor for the low pass filter. I think just, adding an air core inductor and then changing out the resistors to, it's not the same, the better resistors, and maybe even switching out the cap. Basically just rebuilding the same thing, same values, but with better parts. I bet you would probably hear pretty good difference. Fargo. Very nice. How cold does it get up there, Matt? Like what's the temperature now? And then like, what's the worst that it gets down to? Do you still recommend the SU1? Yes. SU1 rocks. SU1 is like the best, budget DAC you can get, except for, I'm kind of new chair and it doesn't roll very well, except for, I'm kind of like obsessed with this thing right now. This is the Duke Audio, and it's the DAC. What is it? Q11. And what it is you got a 4493. So you have an AKM 4493 in here, but you also have a Sabre, I think a 9028 or 9038. I can't remember. So you have two DACs in one, basically. And they do sound different, oddly enough. People will tell you that they don't, but they do. And it's got a 12 volt power supply. So, and it has swappable op amps. So the cool thing is you get like two DACs in one. You can upgrade the op amps later if you want to. And you can upgrade this to a linear power supply. And it has a remote control. And it looks pretty in the dark. I totally thought that this thing was a total gimmick when I first saw it come out. And I started seeing some people doing videos on it. And I'm like, total gimmick. And then I got it. And it was so much fun. And it's only $160. So if you're on a super tight budget, yes, SU1 all the way. If you've got a little bit more money to work with, I would consider that Q11 because it's a ton of fun. I did a video on it. Actually, that video did really well. I just subscribed to Matt's page. Look at that. That one brother. Thank you very much. Matt is awesome. Where's Matt? If he's still in here, he does some videos like he did some speaker stand builds. I really like that stuff. Yeah. Thank you for your reviews. I had to wait 2 years, but my second PB1000 Pro will be here today. Got some bass going on. Very nice. Hey, Randy. Onkyo. Hello, Mixtress B. Onkyo TX RZ50 with Dirac is $9.99. Wow, that's a deal. All right. Got some super chats. David Donald just throwing me $5. Thank you. I also want to do a video on like how to make a $3,000 pair of speaker cables for $300. Those are a ton of fun. So I'm going to make some videos like that. John Brender. John, I just boxed up your stuff and I think I put a label on it. So it's going out today. Whatever you won. I can't remember what you won. Anyway, it's going out today. $4.99. So John Brender is one of the super high ROI investors in the Cheap Audio Man Patreon community. He's made his money back probably 20 times over. I'm one of those who won a door prize, but my return on investment is a great group of Patreon members and your videos. Merry Christmas. Thank you, John, so much. It's a great group. John's got just put out this incredible video. And I watched the whole thing, John. It was really entertaining, where he basically restored a pair of JBL. What are those? I can't remember. L100s? Is that it, John? John, drop the name of your channel into the chat here because I want people to go watch that video. Really entertaining, really well done, fun video. Obviously took a long time for him to do, but you're a natural, John. It was great. You need to do a lot of them. Snapper, $10. Thank you, Snapper. Sith Audio ear conditioning cream arrived recently. Whew, that was a limited run, and I think it actually got pulled off the market because some FDA issues, approval, something about eczema. System has never sounded so good. Merry Christmas, Randy and fam. Thank you, Snapper. Be careful. You might want to throw that stuff away because it could cause your ear to fall off. What DAC would you suggest if I'm looking for Burr Brown? At one time, iFi Zen, the iFi Zen DAC used Burr Brown chips. I don't know what they use now because iFi and I had a falling out. Actually, they never talked to me again after my iFi Zen video. So yeah, I think the Zen DACs had Burr Browns. Sounded really good. Nice and warm. Very analog sounding. Just got the topping D93. The Trace. Very, very nice. I like topping. But when you get to like the super expensive stuff, I have a hard time with topping. Like I think topping and SMSL, under $500, no problem. Usually it's really good stuff. Under $250, a lot of times they have great stuff. Once I get above $500 on topping or SMSL, I have a hard time with it. It's kind of like Kia and Hyundai. Like a $60,000 Kia or Hyundai, like I don't care how good of a car it is. I remember when you could get like Hyundai Accent for $9,000 or $10,000 brand new, like in the early 2000s, and had roll up windows and everything. It was a car. It got you from place to place. But in my head, I have the same kind of biases towards topping an SMSL as I have to Kia and Hyundai. And I know that they're really good cars now. So I get it. It's a me issue. How much is the D93? I was trying to get a pair of Emotiva XB2s, but they are on back order and hard to get in Canada. Are the DB63s $200 Canadian? Really? Better than the DB53S? I don't know. DB63S. Better than the DB53S. It depends on what you want. Are we talking about the new 3.0s? Because I get confused with the model numbers. But the new 6.5-inch version of the debut 3.0, I just put them back up because I like them so much. I think the 5s are better in the mid-range as far as clarity, but the 3s, like if you don't have a subwoofer, the 3s, I was amazed. Like I had to turn the subwoofer down in my living room after I put the 3.0 6.5-inch back up. $200 Canadian? That's cheap. Or are you saying 200 Canadian more? If you have a subwoofer, I get the 5s. If you don't have a subwoofer, the 6s is what I would suggest. Yeah. Yeah. I still can't hear voices after using Sith Audio ear cream. That's where you make your money back, is because you don't have to spring for any of the high resolution music anymore. So you get the Sith Audio ear cream, and then you save money on all of your future hi-fi products because it doesn't matter anymore because you're half deaf. That's how you get to. That's where the ROI is. It makes you partially deaf, and it saves you a lot of money on hi-fi stuff in the future. VW tried that with Fate and Benton chassis. People didn't bite. This one I'm confused on. That must be something else. You're welcome, John. Just glad to be part of the fun. Woohoo! Excuse me. Oh, are we talking about cars? Bentley chassis. Yeah. I think whatchamacallit, Jaguar. Just trying to do that now. I don't know how that's gonna work. Agree on $500 and over. It was tough because of the price. I almost want something with a better name, but the reviews were good. Listen, Topping I think gets great reviews. I think they are like all in on the measurement crowd. So whatever you get from Toppings, like you're almost guaranteed there's going to be a good measuring device, unless they sent a ringer into somebody, which has happened. I've heard that. That's the conspiracy. So the conspiracy around this, and this is pure speculation, although I've heard it, but it's pure speculation on other people's part because they've heard it too. So the rumor is that, and I don't know if it happens as much now because they're a bigger company. The rumor is that some of these, like Chinese-based companies, Topping, SMSL, they would send in ringers that they knew measure really, really well, and basically wouldn't be representative of the rest of the stuff they sent out. They would send those in to get measured. That's the rumor. Does it happen now? I don't know. Maybe. Hi-Fi Conspiracies. That's the name of this live stream. What other hi-fi conspiracies do we have? Hi-fi conspiracies. There we go. We just got the topic. We just got the theme for this live stream. What are the hi-fi conspiracies that you've heard? I also heard that at some audio shows, people would like hide subwoofers behind the curtain and like try to convince people that all that bass is coming out of a speaker. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Vintage JBL1 is my YouTube channel. All right. I'm going to get a link to this. YouTube. Vintage JBL1. See if it comes up. I can't find you, brother. Hey, if you're in front of a computer, can you grab the link to your channel and throw it in there so we can help you out? What do you think? Randy, have you used any mini DSP products? I have not. They just look too complicated for me. I get that they probably aren't, but I think that they look really cool, but it's just one of those things where I want things to be easy because I think my audience wants things to be easy. That's why I don't really love the Ever Solo streamers, because the Android-based stuff is just But I think like the functionality, especially people doing DIY stuff on speakers, I think mini DSP is really cool, and you can do D-Rack and stuff. It's like the barrier of entry for mini DSP is too high for me, and I think maybe like too high for most people. Oh, Todd T, another awesome patron. Well, if they sent products to ASR for review, they wouldn't have to worry about it actually being listened to, just measured. Yeah, I don't know. I think they listen to stuff, maybe. I don't know. They've got to, right? I like the idea of the Zoo Dirty Weekend speakers. People love them. I heard not the latest generation, but a previous generation in Chicago. Hey, Brock. What's up, Brock? What up, Brock? I heard that Sith Audio is just a made-up brand by some weirdo. By some weirdo YouTuber. Can you believe someone would do that? I've heard the same thing. I heard that guy was unhinged. I'm on a live stream. I can't give your buffoonery any time right now. All right, here we go. Theory for you. Sith Audio is just rebranded Pile. It could be. All right, Dirty Weekends. I'm using Klipsch RB81-2 for music and thought the Polks would be good for a bedroom. Yeah. What's up with all the Zoo Dirty Weekend talk? I like the Zoo Dirty Weekend also. Great visual presentation. Look great in a room. Sounds very good. I thought they were like a little bit muffled, veiled throughout the mid-range. That's just me, though. But I've got multiple friends that own them, and they like them. Thoughts on the Sherwin Vega LA 16B speakers? You know, this is like the 15th time I've heard this. I need to buy these. Sherwin Vega LA. Is that their latest and greatest speakers? Maybe I'll buy those today. Curious about your home theater. I know you do surround upstairs. What's your setup downstairs? It's upstairs. So I have a RMC1L as the processor, which I got on discount, but I did buy it. A little bit kind of quirky sometimes with the HDMI. So my girls will go up there, they'll unplug some HDMIs, and then I have to go up there and kind of like reset everything, which is something I probably need to do. And then I have the Emotiva XPA Gen 3 multi-channel amp, and I have 11 channels coming through it, 3 of which are mono modules. So the front, right, center are all mono modules, and the rest are stereo modules. But yeah, love it. And then for the front speakers, I've been running either the Q Acoustics 5040s, but I think I have the Emotiva XT1s up there. The center channel was the Q Acoustics 5000 series center channel. And then I just have kind of like a mix and match for like the surround channels. It just kind of moves in and out depending upon what I have. Love you, V&M Motors. Randy, I love you. Love you, brother or sister. Hey, Randy, working on putting together my first hi-fi desktop system. Thoughts on the Klipsch RP600M2 at $300 plus ZA3 for $105. You might want to be careful. Now, if you're going to use the RP600Ms on your desktop, the good thing about having them on a desktop is you'll probably be able to get your ear above tweeter level. If your ear is right at tweeter level, that's a pretty powerful speaker that can put out a lot of information. And in close proximity, that speaker, to be really dynamic, needs some power going through it. And I think to get it dynamic to sound where it would sound to my preference, it would take too much power. It would be too loud. Now, with that said, if you have something like the Weem Ultra, you could do some type of EQ on it. You could probably get them dynamic. But I don't know if like a horn for near-field listening is the best idea, because I don't know how dynamic it's going to be at lower volumes. So it's a good speaker at $300. ZA3s at $105 is really good too. But I would also look at something with the soft dome tweeter. Actually, the Elac Debut 3s, they're coming in at $350 though. Klipsch used to have the RP400M. I never heard the second gen. I don't even know if they sell a second gen. But the first gen was actually quite fun because it was super dynamic at low volumes. So yeah. V&M Motors is way too bright. I don't disagree with you. That's why if you're going to use them on a desktop, make sure you probably get them well below ear level. Any thoughts on in-wall speakers for home theater? There are several offerings out there. I have a fundamental problem with putting car speakers into my wall because that's kind of what they are, right? Car speakers don't have an enclosure. You put them into your door. The door acts as somewhat of an enclosure. I kind of feel like this is the same thing. Now, granted, you're putting them between two studs. There's a bit of an enclosure there too. But for me, now, if you were doing maybe a center channel that you're never really going to tweak. If you're doing in-ceiling Atmos speakers, something like that, even if you're doing like in-wall surrounds, I would be more comfortable with that than my front. So my left and my right and my center, I know I just said center is probably okay. Left, front, and center, I would probably not want to be in-wall speakers. Everything else, I don't love it, but I could probably deal with it. Those definitely are going to be something that like you really want to research, because if you're tearing up your house to put speakers in the wall, you probably really want them to sound good. And if you are someone like us that likes to kind of switch things in and out, I don't think that's the right decision for most of us. Atmos, ceilings, rears, sides, maybe. 2025, bring back speaker shootouts. Miss seeing the trophy presentations with the monkey, the Vader, and the Rocktopus. Yeah, I need to do that. Yeah, I was thinking back or side fills. The wife would prefer not to see speakers. I totally get that. And if it's in wall or nothing, in wall for sure. But there's some really cool looking, modern looking speakers that you could use for your fronts and center. But yeah, there's decent stuff out there, but I think it's really like straight up home theater focused. Like, I don't know, because there's there's so many different flavors when it comes to music. What about some refills on some old school speakers? How about some refills on some old school speakers? Oh, reviews, I bet. I have a hard time with vintage stuff because I don't know if it's going to be available to everybody. Maybe I need to get over that. I mean, there's great channels doing a lot of great stuff on vintage speakers, so maybe I need to look at that too. What are some other hi-fi conspiracies? Vintage stuff. I got a notification my Octopus mug is on its way for delivery. Thanks, Camp. Thank you, Mixtures B. I'm actually bringing merchandise in-house. So that 2025, it's all going to be in-house. So I'll be, because some of the, especially the t-shirts quality from Teespring is not very good. So everything's going to be screen printed. We're going to have some cool like designs. We're going to have some other products too. And the coffee mugs are going to be brought in-house too. The coffee mugs actually from Teespring are fine. I mean, I've washed mine over 100 times and everything's perfect on it. But like, I want a little bit better mug, a little bit better artwork and everything. It's going to be really cool. It's going to be a lot of fun. Did I miss a super chat? Steven, I did miss a super chat. Steven Calvert. Not only a super chat, a $10 super chat. Stephen Calvert, should I get the Daisy and collect the Sparkos 2590s over time, or just grab a J3 with the Sparkos and wait until I have a better payday for the Daisy? Best basic software for replacement. If you can swing the Daisy, I would just get that now. Unless you have a secondary system that you can move the J3 into when you get the Daisy. But with the Daisy, it's kind of like buy once, cry once, and then save up money and get the Sparkos when you can. That would be like probably my line of thinking. The J3 is great though, but the cool thing about the Daisy is you get like 2 J2s or 2 J3s, one for each channel. And there is a performance improvement too. Like the Daisy, you can get that and never have to get another DAC again, or for another 5 or 10 years, whatever you want. Like it's that good. The J3 is great. I have one running in my, I have a J2 running in my living room right now. But the Daisy is like next level. That's what I would do. Buy once, cry once. All right. Hey, Randy. Parasound A21 power amp is a great pre-owned value. You can find them for $1,500 from the music room. Very cool. I like the music room. Any recommendations for compact subwoofers? My space is small and I don't want to disturb the neighbors, but my setup is lacking bass. Yes. I would actually go, and it's not even marketed as a small subwoofer, but I would go with the SVS SB1000 Pro. They have an SB3000 Micro that is like only an inch, maybe smaller, like per dimensions, right? The SB1000 Pro is $600. You can sometimes find them open box for $500. So go to Crutchfield or go to SVS and then check out the warehouse deals. But go to Crutchfield, check out the SB1000 Pro, and then see if they have any open box. You get an app, so you can change phase, you can change crossovers, you can even do a little EQ on there. So you can put it wherever you want, and it's small. Like there's a lot of 10-inch, a lot of 8-inch subwoofers out there that are bigger. So I think it's still going to be small enough even for an apartment, and you can use a wireless subwoofer kit to kind of put it wherever you want. And that's what I would do, because at that point you're not really you're not getting a tiny subwoofer, because even the SB 3000 Micro, I think what it was, came in at $800 or $900. I preferred the SB 1000 Pro, and it was only marginally larger than the 3000 Micro. Let's see. I think RSL has a 10-inch, but I think it's still bigger than the SB1000 Pro. Emotiva may have some to take a look at, but that woofer, it's a 12-inch woofer on the SB1000 Pro, and it almost goes edge to edge. So they did a really good job. But that way you're not really making any type of compromises on the sound. But anyway, yeah. All right. It's over 1K. Yes, Randy, it's over 1K. I don't know what that's in reference to. Sorry. I wish I could sort these by person. SVS micro subwoofer is awesome. It is awesome. It's more expensive though, and it's marginally smaller. And I bottomed out that micro. Absolutely amazing. Works like a dream on the Marantz. There you go. We got a bunch of like micro. Hold on. I'm getting. So the person that was texting me knows that I'm on a live stream, so now they're messing with you. Yeah, I'm replying right now while live. I shop at Lululemon all of the time. I love their stuff. It's more expensive, but it lasts a lot longer. I really like their yoga pants. I use them as shop rags. They're messing with me about Lululemon. Basically saying I shop at Lululemon. Any advice for noobs how to identify the weakness in a system? I'm sure what I should upgrade first for the best results. Eddie, here we go. This is what you do. Have you ever seen The Matrix? Do you know when the guy that betrays them is sitting there eating a steak and he's like, I know this steak doesn't exist, but the Matrix is telling me that it does exist and it's yummy and perfect and everything. And you know what? Ignorance is bliss. So my advice to you is not to upgrade anything and enjoy what you have, because as soon as you start upgrading anything, you upgrade everything eventually. With that said, identifying the weakness in a system, you can never go wrong with having a high quality source, because the source is kind of the foundation. And if you have a good source, whether it be a DAC or streamer or a turntable, you can grow around it and you never need to really change that out. So whatever your budget is, I would get the best source that you can, because you can get a better amp later, you can get better speakers later and better anything else, but you can keep that source. Then you know, kind of like, I didn't like screw it up. And sources aren't nearly as flavor dependent or flavor heavy as like a speaker is, and even some amplifiers. If you get a really good DAC, you get a really good turntable, within your budget constraints, you can keep that for a long time. So that would be the first thing that I would look at improving. And then as you get more into it, you start to kind of understand, what's out there, what's on sale, what's a really good value. Then I would start looking at maybe speakers next, and then maybe my amp next. SB 1000 Pro also goes very low, 20 hertz ish, which is great for movies. I love my SB 1000 Pro. And I have new subwoofers in boxes that I haven't unboxed because I just like my 1000 Pro better. Best bookshelf, under $300. The Elac B5.2s, the generation prior to the newest one. Or if you can spring for another $50, the third generation 5.25-inch series. And then there's some, the Sonys are great, but I think the Sonys are great for $130. I think a PSB had some. Let me grab this super chat. Can you recommend a cheap center speaker to go with a pair of Elac Debut 2 5.2s? They sell one. Elac does. It depends on what your definition of cheap is. You can just get, depending upon what your space constraints are, you can just get like a regular speaker that you could throw up there for next to nothing. Let's see, what would be a good with the 2 5.2s? What would probably be decent is Mica makes a little center speaker. And they would probably match up fairly well, because the 2.0 5.2s are fairly mid-range forward, and that Mica is fairly mid-range forward. And so if you just do a little bit of like setup and make sure you get the levels where they need to be, probably be a good, and I think it's $100 or something. $100. Currently, Emotiva has no subwoofers on their site. That's weird, man. They used to make a lot of subwoofers. Best bookshelf speakers, Klipsch RB812. Hot take. Polk XT20 is a good for external amp and turntable. Polk XT20 is a good for external amp and turntable. It's a good speaker, for sure. At the price, if you get it on sale, I wouldn't pay retail for it, but they run sales on that speaker all the time. Fun, big, cool speaker. Yeah, it would be good for an external amp and turntable, for sure. Depends on the amp, though. But yeah, I like that speaker. Ignorance is bliss. Absolutely. All right, did I miss any super chats? All right, I need a drink. Yummy. All right. Hey, Randy, is it worth switching from the Fozzy K5 Pro to the SMSL SU1? I haven't heard the K5. I have not. I don't even know what that is. Is that their little ladder DAC? I don't know. I couldn't tell you one way or the other. I know that the SU1, though, is, for what it is, it's great. And it's also a 5-volt power supply. For sure. Favorite bookshelf speakers are strangely a vintage set of Bose 301 twos. Very nice. There we go. I invested in a porta potty computer chair for those who never leave their PC. It's gross. So gross. I'm a huge fan of using a sub as a Nearfield for a full rich bass, lower at lower decibels at night. Yeah, I like it. You know who made a really good sub? Now, it didn't go very low, but the impact was great. One of these, I had got this Logitech system way before the channel ever started. And it came with these tiny little speakers that were like about this size. Tiny. And then it had like this 5x5 or maybe 6x6 cube that had a little subwoofer in it. And it didn't go like below like 50 hertz, maybe even 60 hertz, but it was so like impactful. Man, that was a fun little system. All right, we've been doing this for 47 minutes. Scat Modi Multibet Weem Ultra DAC clocking issue question. Is the Skit an all-in-one solution for upgrading the DAC and resolving any clocking issues? I don't know. Here's the thing with this Weem Ultra DAC output, and I've talked about this ad nauseum. Is that how you say it? Or ag? I think it's ad nauseum. With one of my patrons who's like kind of an expert in this, or has a lot more experience than I do. What he told me is like USB is asynchronous, and that doesn't mean like there's not going to be any errors. He said the reason why it is asynchronous is because there's so many errors and so much jitter. So by going out to whatever that little box was, the SMSL PO100, that's being reclocked before it goes into whatever USB DAC you have. And from what I was told, that you can basically never have too much reclocking. And the only reason I made that video is because it was $60, right? Like, I'm not recommending a $600 reclocker. I'm recommending a $600 little thing that's kind of reclocking as a secondary deal. But if you're just going straight into a USB DAC, I don't think you're going to have the benefit as if you were going to this little $60 thing. And ultimately, it's like up to you. I did hear a difference, which I thought was kind of funny. That's the reason why I made the video. I was so skeptical going into it, but it was one of those things. It was $60. I'm like, all right, I'll get it. This would make a good video. Even if it's not good, it would still make a good video. And sure enough, I heard a difference. Steve Divine, $9.99. Thanks for Smother Year, a very informative, I think maybe another, very informative and entertaining videos. Have you listened to the newly released Emotiva XB1 bookshelves yet? Thoughts? Are those the 4-inchers? I may have a pair of those. I thought they sent me a pair. I'll have to look. I think I listened to them at Emo Fest. So I don't think I've listened to them here though. Pretty sure I haven't. They're great from what I heard. Emotiva doesn't put out a bad speaker. You know what's funny though is I got this really nasty comment yesterday about a guy telling me that I owed him $825 because he bought the XT1s and that they were garbage. I was like, well, did you request a return? Like, what do you want from me? Like, not every speaker that I like or I think is good does everybody like. He was really mad though. I think his name was Bob something. He was not happy. Usually I don't reply to that type of things, but I saw it on my phone. I'm sure it's going to be awesome. Now, that's me saying I'm a fan of the Emotiva sound. So, yeah. Should I get the RSL 10E or 10S for use with my Sony speakers? Yeah, RSL is great. If you've got the budget, I would get their most affordable one. They're great stuff. I use an RSL upstairs. It's huge, though. So make sure to check the dimensions. That's one of the things about the RSL. Like, they make big subwoofers. I'm not a huge fan of big subwoofers. I have it upstairs, though, because it goes boom. But I like small subwoofers. I like stuff that's not super intrusive. But RSL is awesome. And their new 10-inch at $300 is like unbeatable. Kurt Diddle Senior, thank you so much for the $10. Those Logitechs were awesome. You know, it was like they were so good. I was trying to figure out if I could, like, I don't think it had a subwoofer input, like an analog input on the back. Like you had to run something from your computer or run something from the little satellite speakers. Because I was literally thinking about buying a set of those just for the subwoofer because it was so small and so good. Is Randy the return to pay? Exactly. You know, that's the two things. Like, I used to get this all the time early on, especially in my Patreon community, I was tech support. And like, I try to be really nice about it, but I don't spend enough time with a lot of these products to be like tech support. I give it a test drive, a really long test drive, but I give it a test drive, and usually it goes back to wherever it came from. And so I would get a lot of, especially receivers, like home theater receivers were the worst. I would get all sorts of tech support questions. And then occasionally I get you're full of crap, you're a shill, which is not necessarily false. I don't try not to shill. I just talk about what I like. It may not be what everybody likes, but it's what I like, what I think is a good value. But I would occasionally get I bought this because you said this and it's terrible. You're a liar. You're terrible. You're a shill. And like, I'm sorry, man. I always tell people buy stuff that can be returned. If you don't like it, return it. We have the power. Now, if you buy something used or you buy something from China, that was another one I got. And I always say, don't buy directly from China. Buy from Amazon. Buy from Apos. Don't buy stuff directly from SMSL or Fozzy or whomever. Because if you get it and something goes wrong, they're going to say you need to send it back. And if it's a $100 product or a $50 product, guess what? The value of that thing is now gone. And a lot of times, some people, I've heard anecdotally that people will get it and they'd be like, there's nothing wrong with this. Do you want it back? Just have to pay us for shipping. Always, 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 always buy something from Amazon or Apos if you're buying super cheap Chinese products. Always. They'll probably get mad at me for saying this because their margins are higher if they sell direct, but you don't want the headache as far as returns. Anyway. Audio Conspiracies. Cam is an Amazon return drop-off site. God, that would be terrible. That would be the absolute worst. I cannot imagine. I hate. So I've been doing this long enough. Let me see. I want to make sure before I get on my soapbox here that I don't miss any super chats. I've been doing this long enough that anything that comes in my house that has a cardboard box, I instantly hate. Instantly, because I have cardboard boxes everywhere. I have them stacked up in the garage. Have them everywhere. They're right outside here. After this, I'm taking a bunch to drop off. So if my wife orders something and there's a cardboard box, I hate it. Especially if we get like any type of large things like furniture or bigger things that has a cardboard box. I always say to her, what are your plans with that cardboard box? Because my stuff that comes in here generally is only visiting. But her stuff that comes in cardboard boxes stays here. I cannot imagine. Like I would go nuts on the inside if I had one more cardboard box in my house. I bought the Fozzie BT20A Pro and another parts on your advice, and I love them. Also returns here, brother. Hey, look at this. Wirehead. Gary Maker, $20. I think that's the highest super chat for the day. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, that's not the right one. No, I don't have it. I used to have my little applause button. New to the channel, thanks for all the great information. Gary, thank you so much. $20. So nice. So nice. Thank you, Gary. It's still real hot. Okay. From Chicago, 5 pounds to China is $230. That can't be right. Yeah, I'm telling you, like, buy from Amazon. Even if it's not in stock on Amazon, I think it still falls within Amazon's like return policies. So, like, even if something on Amazon says, hey, delivery won't be till like the end of January, you can still buy it. And then once you get it, I think you still have all the rights to the return policy and stuff like that. So I'd still encourage that because you're going to get a dud. You get a dud from really like expensive companies too. Every once in a while you get a dud. But you want to kind of cover your rear as much as you can. Yeah. Have you ever used a low profile sub that fits under a chair couch? No, but I loved those things for car audio. And I always thought, I think Monoprice sells one for home use. I don't think they're going to be nearly as good, but if you're just looking for something to fill in a little bit of low end, especially with TV or with movies, I think those are such a cool idea. And I have one that my wife seized up. Actually, I think I threw it away. Anyway, Pioneer used to make these, and they would be about, 4 inches or so deep. And then you'd put them in, like, if you had an SUV, you'd put them back in there. And they're great because you could stack stuff on them and everything. The only one that I've ever seen for home audio, outside of like something DIY, was with Monoprice. But the cool thing about car audio is, they're 4 ohm, 8 ohm speakers. So you could buy, I think this would be a fun project too. Build a low profile subwoofer. You could buy a car woofer, build a low profile subwoofer. And you could even buy one of those same enclosures. Because car audio, they make low profile subwoofers. I don't think in like home audio, they make as many. They're probably out there, but it's not as common because you have all the space in the world, right? In home audio. Anyway, I think it'd be super fun to make that and then buy like a plate amp from Dayton Audio or something like that to power it. And then you have, your crossover and everything. I think that would be a blast. That'd be so much fun. So much fun. But I think there is one available on Monoprice. I think. DW Traction, $9.99. Thank you so much. What is your opinion on Sonos Faber Lumina 5 or Dolly Opticon 6 Mark II? Would be using them in 5.1 setup with a home theater And 2-channel music, about 50-50 use case. Thanks in advance. Never heard the Lumina 5s. I have the Lumina 2 Amateurs, and I love them. Absolutely love them. They are what I would, if the Sonos Farmer Lumina 5s are an extension of what the Lumina 2 Amateurs are, I would say that they're going to be a little bit more of a richer kind of flavorful speaker than the Dolly Opticon 6. Dolly Opticon 6, I think, are more neutral, but yet absolutely 100% addictive because of their top end. And they're not as dynamic as the Luminas. But this is pure speculation because I've never heard the Lumina 5. I'm only talking about this based on the Lumina 2 Amateurs. Opticon 6, really good speaker. Really good speaker. Sonos Fabers, prettier, probably built better. But I don't think you can go wrong. Like if this is your choice, I mean, I think you're doing well. I think they're both great choices. Monoprice still makes them. Look at that. Very cool. Wow. DW Traction. Very cool. Remember Circuit City? Of course I'll remember Circuit City. That was awesome. Is that the Westmoreland in your picture? Yeah, I remember Circuit City. It's awesome. Sad that they are not here anymore. Sorry, I'm an amateur. Yeah. Yeah. I think the dollies are going to be more neutral. Amateurs a little bit more dynamic, but you're not going to have the mid-range clarity and accuracy of the Opticons. But in a lot of cases, that doesn't matter because they're just rich and wonderful. And the mid-range on the Sonos Fabers are not like veiled. So there's a color to it, but it's not like covered up as far as detail. Yeah. All right. One more. Just found your channel a couple of days ago. Fantastic information. I will be subscribing. Well, thank you. I've watched several of your recent videos. Well, Sean T, thank you so much. Welcome. I appreciate it. If you want to donate your subscription, that's fine. But I just wanted to let you know, you do have unlimited subscriptions to donate. And if you don't like it, you can have it back. There's no restocking fee if you want your subscription returned to you. No, none. And you can keep whatever you watch for free. So watch for all you want. If you want to unsubscribe, unsubscribe. And you don't have to give back any of that information that you learned. All right. It is December, 18th? I hope you all have a great week. If your kids are out of school next week, my apologies. We need to meditate. We need to get ready for this. We need to prepare for this. We've known it's been coming. I think we're going to make it through here. It's going to be dark times, but we can get through it. We can. Even if you work from home. Actually, I'm very freaked out about the kids being home. So have a great holiday. I think next week, next Wednesday, Christmas. So this is Christmas. Something. Yep. No live stream. Actually, maybe that would be fun if like everybody is all grumpy and everything, and then tired, and then like playing with their toys. Maybe we'll do a Christmas live stream. I can't guarantee it. Maybe. All right. Have a happy holiday. I love you all. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all for making my dreams come true. Be safe. Have fun. Bye. Bye-bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye-bye-bye. Bye-bye-bye-bye.